Alright, let's get it. My nose is stopped up, but duty calls. We done missed too many, so let's get it popping off here. Alright. Peace, fam. I want to welcome you to the place where your hustle build muscle. This is the Congregation of the Mighty. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Somebody already trying to call in? I'm already up. I understand what's going on. All right, here we go. Of course, you know, this is Travel Quotes, and this is a Heart of a Simple production. And we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. Listen, family. We got a lot going on. Let's just look at some stuff real close, real quick. or real quick, so that before we get all into the show tonight, man, oh man. All right, so I was talking about one article maybe 2 days ago. One article, here we go. Alright, so I sent out the newsletter, and I'm calling off the show, and people are like, why are you calling off the show? Man, family, I'm tired. I'm old. I'm adjusting to my place in society. Right now, I never had an allergy attack, and I'm having a crazy allergy attack. I'm just like, Lord have mercy, take me now, take me now. So I found an article. I found a couple of articles today that we need to look at. So I got one article from the Root says some did choose to return to slavery because they chose family over everything. So this is an article that talks about slavery and how some people chose to stay in slavery. They could have left, they could have got out. As a matter of fact, some of the article tells you the heart-wrenching tale of some people who in a sense got free but chose to go back into slavery because the way the rules were written is that once you was free, you had to leave the state or the county or whatever, and rather than leave, some people allowed themselves to be caught back into the web of slavery. Horrible. I mean, and the more we research this stuff, the more stories we find, and it's like, man, it's kind of messed up. But this is the one I wanted to share with you. This is an article that popped up on my timeline. It's from Alabama.com. My fault, say AL.com news. How wealthy Southern slave owners recovered from the Civil War. Now, I was going to read it, but I'm not going to read it. I need to get these proverbs up here real quick. If people go call in, they can call in, and maybe we can have a discussion. If not, I was going to read this, but family, I really, really don't feel like it. But there is one article that I want to definitely share with you. I shared this one on the timeline this morning. Today. So, I'm sitting around, and I'm like, okay. So, I see a video say, why hashtag ADOS is trash. Receipts attached. Why hashtag ADOS is trash. Receipts attached. And it's medium.com. And I just want to share this with you because I'm like, this man has some horrible timing. Let's look at the article. I want y'all to know who it's by. I want y'all to take some time to read it. And maybe over the weekend when we do our toast and talk, we can sit down and we can look at this. This one is done on something called Medium. An article on Medium. And it's by Talib Kweli Green. Talib Kweli. And man, he got a picture up here of Yvette Carnett with a bad perm. Man, got her with a mega hat. He got pictures of her with supporting Donald Trump supposedly, and all this shit. I want y'all to read that. We need to really sit down and we need to discuss this. Now, my take is that we have an angry person responding to some other angry people. All right, people. A lot of times, what we start seeing that happen, what we see happen with a lot of these situations, and like I said, I'm a nation builder, so I try to stay up out the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So Yvette responded to one of his tweets angrily. He responded angrily. Nobody is talking to nobody. Now this brother comes out saying why ADOS is trash, which is like, and now in his defense, his introduction to ADOS was first him being dissed by Yvette Carnell in her text, kind of dismissing him. And then he says he was attacked by throngs and throngs of people with the ADOS hashtag. And like I said, but that's how it gets out here, right? That's how it gets out here. Because a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people are gonna catch that anger of a lot of black folk at this point in time, because a lot of black folks is like waking up, and some people very grumpy when they wake up, right? It's like, I've been asleep, I overslept a man. You know what I'm saying? They wondering what the hell happened. Where's all the wealth and all the dreams they've been promised? You got a lot of people who look at these numbers. Because I'm telling you now, when I first started listening to a lot of that, Breaking Brown, I was like, man, she's negative. God damn. But then I started looking at the numbers, and I'm sitting up here like, well, goddamn, and now I understand why she negative. Sitting up here, this ain't the shit that I was told. Looking at this, you really, really got to get beyond just what she's saying, how she's saying, and just look at the numbers, family. If you don't recognize that reparations is a necessary step that this country has to take, and the only way to get the country to take this necessary step is to be very aggressive, and be that stubborn minority. We have to understand, family. Like I tell you, some of us gonna have to start walking up into rooms, being willing to be the enemy, not being liked. See, but that has always been our movements. People didn't like Dr. Martin Luther King, and he was talking a peaceful peace. People didn't like Malcolm X. They didn't like Marcus Garvey. They didn't like Booker T. We got to understand that when you take this walk, and when you finally find something that you are fervent about, something that you are willing to stand up for and talk for, you're going to attract a lot of enemies. And that piece goes for Yvette, and then it also goes for some of you, because there's nobody standing up for ADOS. One of the things I posted up on the timeline, somebody posted up on the timeline, Dr. Cornel West spoke on behalf of ADOS. See, what people have to understand is that the hashtag and the whole idea of ADOS is a threat, because black people are identifying, are gravitating to an identity that is outside of the definitions that we have been given, outside of the titles that we have been given. Something that, in a sense, rose up from the grassroots. And what this reminds me a lot of is hip-hop. It's hard for people to grasp and understand, especially if you're not involved in doing it, right? If you're on the outside objectively looking at what's going on, you can never understand what's going on with the people who are experiencing and who have subjected themselves to the ideas of ADOS. You can stand on the outside and point fingers and cut pieces of video, you know what I'm saying, and start looking like you really are an enemy to what we're talking about. When in fact, being around long enough, I know that's not the case. But I do understand feelings get hurt, and we got a lot of these egos on the internet and in media, period, that, you know, once you get on their bad side, you can't be forgiven because you had the audacity to question an idea that they had. And many of us are like that. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that. Now, let me check the chat, see if anybody up in here. All right, so family, lines are open 614-556-4535. Once again, 614-556-4535. I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes. I'm going to go through these Proverbs. Man, I am stuffed up, and hopefully you can hear that, those that's been around long enough. And I'm not used to anything like this. This is something totally new. Welcome to 51 shit that I am not familiar with at all. I have never experienced anything like this. But I know how to get rid of it. I should have did it before the show, but I tried to lay down. That's why I'm a little bit late. So today, coming from the Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes by brother, compiled by brother Hatem, and he's a pretty cool guy. I know him personally. We are on day 66. It says, I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. That's Martin Luther King Jr. As you teach, you learn. That's a Jewish proverb. I know some of y'all we had this last week, but we didn't get a chance to cover it. And the next one, a slippery ground does not recognize kings. That's from Kenya or Uganda, right? So somebody out there, why don't you select which one we're going to start with? Click 1, 2, or 3 if you are in the chat and you can hear us. Let us know which one you want to do. I will search around and see if anybody else is out there listening. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that y'all got that piece. We'll go over that. We'll go over some of the other articles possibly this weekend, unless somebody want to go in depth with it now. We also had in this the past week, we had the whole Nipsey Russell thing. Nipsey Hussle. I said Nipsey Russell. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody in the tribe is going to want to talk about that. And things like that. And I'm just like, yo, fam, so the lines are open. Let me post it up. Let's post it up all at once. Oh, Miss Johnson said 3. All right, hold on. Call in 614-556-4535. Start with number 3. Number 3 it is. A slippery ground does not recognize a king. Now, please understand that in a sense, royalty, at least the way we think about it, is a concept created by man. And there's certain aspects in nature that will treat someone of royal birth exactly like a regular person. Death treats someone of a royal birth just like a regular person. Like putting on your clothes. King has to put on his clothes basically like a regular person. They might be nicer clothes, but he still has to put his pants on one leg at a time. And what this is saying is that, in a sense, we all are subject to fumble. We all are subject to stumble. We all are affected by the universe in which we exist. So, in a sense, many of us, let's put it this way, we are all the same. One of my older brothers, shouts out to brother Albino Garcia, Chief Albino Garcia, big Albino, says, He said, I am no higher than a blade of grass and no lower than its roots. This is one of those humbling proverbs that makes it possible for us to put ourselves back into place. Because sometimes we get out of pocket, sometimes our egos get so big, and then life hits. Right? Boom. Life hits. Life hits your ass, whether you a billionaire or whether you broke and you on the street. We already know how it goes down, right? And one of the things that a lot of us got to realize is that we have to be willing to see things, in many cases, from other people's perspective. Because we all fall on we all hit slippery ground, we all liable to fall. We are just going to slip or do something. So we have to understand. So this is one of those proverbs where, in a sense, maybe I need to text this out to both parties as far as the article that I just read. You know what I'm saying? No one is above universal law. There you go. You know what I'm saying? As above, so below. As below, so above. You know what I'm saying? Talk about truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, balance, order, and harmony. You know what I'm saying? We gotta realize that we are all subject to these things. And when we do this, this allows us to become humble. Humble allows us to become a servant. See, the problem becomes when some of us start to feel that we are better than others. You understand? We know more than others. And in some cases you do, but you don't know more about everything than everybody. You know what I'm saying? You could be talking with an individual, they might not know what they're talking about on reparations. But on another subject, they might be the shit. Right? Or you might be talking about rap and might not know what the fuck you talking about as far as the history of rap. But when I talk to you about breakdancing, I am in awe. I am in awe of what you know. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, this is one of those proverbs that reminds you of why you need a tribe. Right? Why you need people around you to humble you. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the ego runs amok. And the ego, when we allow it to just control, it is like a ravenous animal. It can be. It can be very destructive, have absolutely no regard for anyone or anything, and it's a dangerous thing. Until we have to, because every now and then, like I said, we got to pull ourselves in. Oh, what is that proverb? A slippery ground does not recognize a king. Realize there's certain things that we all go through. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was talking to one of my friends, and they were relating about how certain people were reacting and treating them, and all right, it's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. All right, now my show on, and it's time for y'all to be in bed. I don't know what y'all think y'all doing. Why this thing not charging? Good grief. Man, it's rough all around for Gye-Nyame Journey, for Brother Hot Tim right now. Woo! All right, so, you know, so let's just reflect on that. The slippery crown does not recognize a king. Don't care. Don't have to care. Is a universal flaw. I mean, a universal law, a universal concept. Universal concepts don't recognize some of the shit that we create and erect as human beings. Understand that. A lot of this shit that we arguing about are human conceptions. You know what I'm saying? They're human conception. You know what I'm saying? They're human ideas that we thrown out there and put flesh on and stuff like that, and we have to understand that All right, so let's move on. Man, let me take an ambrosia break, y'all, because this is killing me. All right, Miss Johnson, which one you want to go to now? It's on you since you picked that one. We done did number 3. Let's move through these because it look like it's just going to be us tonight. And that's cool because you know, Brother Hatim, you look, like I said, I spent years on this thing. In many cases, I still speak to myself sometimes. So, woo. Once again, lines are open, 614-556-4535. 614-556-4535. Call in. Are we going to hit number 1, Miss? Hot damn. Don't even taste right because of my nose, but we about to clear that up. Whoa. All right. Brother Kemet on here. Greetings, fam. Oh, how you doing, Brother Kemet? Okay, did he make a comment? How you doing on there? I don't see nothing. But it's cool. All right, so here we go. I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. That's Martin Luther King. Once again, let me read that to you. I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. Family, as warriors, both sexes, right? We got to, you please understand this one and rock with this one, please. I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something that he will die for. See, we got a lot of people that are middle of the road people. Everything is cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to sit here, everything is just, you know what I'm saying? Everything is everything. Don't get excited about nothing. You know what I'm saying? In middle of the road. Now, a man, you really start moving into manhood when you start deciding, womanhood too, when you really start understanding that some things are worth dying for, are worth killing for. Because you can't have dying without some killing going on too. And what we got to understand that is the thing that we're talking about, the freedom that we're talking about, the liberation that we're talking about, the nation building that we're talking about. Something worth dying for. Something worth killing for. It's something, and even more important, it's something worth living for. And a lot of people I don't think a lot of people get this. You understand? So like, because now check this out. Because going back to the conversation we was having earlier with Talib Kweli and just simply coming out with an article in Medium talking about ADOS is not trash. Now, what he's going to run into is individuals who are fervent, fanatic, because these individuals have been promised something their whole life, and they've been told that they can receive this dream called the American dream. And many of them have pushed, have worked, and have been told that they wasn't pushing and working hard enough. And finally they ran into something that can help them identify some of the things that they couldn't voice, but they could see. And they'd be like, well, maybe my eyes are wrong. And their whole life they have been lied to. And you come out and be like, that one thing that they find, you say it's trash, and you wonder why motherfuckers are sending you threats. You know what I'm saying? That's like me getting on here and being like, hip-hop is some bullshit. Hip-hop is bullshit, and anybody listen to that shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like all hip-hop I might not like, but hip-hop as a whole is not. So when you look at something and you just say it's all, what you do is you calling something that may have brought some meaning and may have put a fire up under some people. You know what I'm saying? You put it down, so people gonna be coming at you. You understand what I'm saying? You can't. And that's the way it should be, because they say right here, I submit to you that a man that has not discovered something that he will die for. Understand, somebody's willing to put up their life, is willing to take yours. See, this is what we don't understand. A lot of us. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand that our movement requires sacrifice. It requires, see, we say it and we do the fancy metaphors, but it actually requires blood, sweat, and tears. See, we come and we pour libations every day. We're blessed enough where we're able to pour water. But remember, like I said, 2 years ago, you know what I'm saying? I told the family about the highest libations. Water is one of the lowest libations that you could pour. The highest. Let's go through it. Like, you got water, you got alcohol, right? The next highest is sweat. Sweat is a libation. Sweat is a libation. Please understand that, because sweat is when you work, and especially when you're in a dedicated work, the sweat that pours from you is a libation. Tears is another libation. Tears that are produced by a love for something. When something may have happened to it, good or bad, tears is a form of libation. The highest form of libation, and a lot of y'all gonna get creeped out by it, is blood. Come on, family. Come on now. Please understand that we're dealing with an ancient science. Blood is the highest libation. So when somebody's pouring their blood into something, they're not only willing to give theirs, they're willing to give yours. As a matter of fact, in many cases, it's more preferable that they give yours, but the highest is for them to give theirs. A lot of us don't understand that when we're talking about liberation, we're talking about all this black shit. You know, it's deeper than just talk. It's deeper than metaphors. It's deeper than being able to recite dates. Are you willing to lay it down for it, family? She said, this is Regina and I at our restoration project. Is it today? I'm sorry, I missed that. Did y'all post that up on Gye-Nyame Journey? I thought it was this weekend. But they working on the house, and in that house they're putting blood, sweat, and tears into their restoration project. They pour every morning with us. They get up with the daily toasters and they do this libation, but the ultimate libation that they pour is the one as far as them working. Ask them, I mean, and how many of y'all done have projects where you done shed sweat, you done broke out sweating, you done broke out in tears because you're so caught up in the work, and it's like something or a problem or something, and you just get confused, and those are libations. That's why a sense of relief comes when we do express those tears. You're working on something, and you might be working on it, and all of a sudden you get cut. You bleed. Blood, sweat, and tears, family. That's what's required. And a man that's not willing to give any of those, it's not a man. It's not a man. Part of manhood is learning how to be able to face life unflinching. There's certain rites of passage, rights where individuals' whole family reputation will be based, not just their reputation as men, but their whole family reputation will be put on the line as they went through a grueling, painful test. And if they flinched, not only were they shamed, but their whole bloodline. Family, you got to find that. For me, it started with pouring the water with which you give thanks. Peace. The community cleanup is Sunday, April 28th. Okay, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at 2255 Medina Avenue in South Linden. No, I'm talking about the libation piece. Oh, okay. And the libations is our restoration project. I understand now. Y'all gotta realize I'm slow. And for me, it started with pouring the water which you give thanks. So, and for some reason, this damn message thing is doubling up. But family, you know what I'm saying? We have to understand. We have to understand that our progress lacks individuals that are willing to do that. I mean, we have a bunch of scholars. Matter of fact, we got too many goddamn scholars. You know what I'm saying? We need people out here doing the work. We gotta get people out here who's willing to put their heart on the line and cry for some of this bullshit that we be falling out for. To bring some resolution. To sweat on some of these projects that we got going on out here. And if need be, bleed. Right? So, I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. That's on both sides, family. Male, female. That's on both sides. If you ain't find something worth dying for, you don't deserve to, you know what I'm saying? You ain't fit. This is Martin Luther King saying this shit. You ain't fit to live. I ain't talking about your handbag. I'm so tired of the struggle for the people that don't care. That's why we stopped struggling for the people that don't care. That's why I told people a while ago on Gye-Nyame Journey, shouts out to Tara Hauser, I tell our family all the time, circle the wagons. People get mad at me because I say I'm not trying to reach everybody no more. I'm past that stage. I'm not doing that no more. If you young enough and you want to do that shit, by all means get out there. It's a tribe of individuals that we got that we need to take care of. Circle the wagons. Circle the wagons. You know what I'm saying? Because at a certain point in time, we got to start establishing the borders for who we are and stop letting people be able to walk up in this motherfucker and walk up out of it like it's a fucking parade. This is real life for some of us. This ain't play. We ain't playing. But we allow people to treat it. And I tell you, one of the things I tell my young men all the time, I said, dude, this is our shit. This is our thing. Right? Kwame gave me the words for that. I'm going to let Kwame tell it. Charles said, worth dying for. I'm worn out. I hear you. You still lay it down. Stop playing. What are you talking about? Right? Tired is a temporary state. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, get your rest. That means somebody else got to step up for you for a couple minutes, a couple of hours, a couple of days, a couple of weeks. I'm in some Noah on the Ark stuff. Black folks are killing us. I'm in some Noah on the Ark stuff. Black folks are killing us. Some of them, you already know. That's why I say circle the wagons. Hell, build your ark. I don't call it what you want. You know what I'm saying? But we have to start really, and see, for me, this is one of the things that this whole ADOS thing did, because it gave certain ones of us, it helped establish an identity, because many of us have been looking for identity. I'm not talking about changing paperwork and shit like that, but we have a very strange place in this world as African descendants of slavery. Nobody, you know what I'm saying, nobody ever put it quite like, damn, this is your identity. And like, you know, a lot of motherfuckers like, that ain't me. But listen, because I want you to think about this. When you look at us as a group, we are the only group that has no place to call home but where we are. We're not originally from here, even though some people say I can trace my ancestors all the way back. You know what I'm saying? We're not originally from here, but yet and still, the process through which we went, we were separated in a way to where we were totally disconnected from where we come from. So actually, we have nowhere to go. All other groups could come here, in a sense, have a place to come, and then they have a place to go back. They have a place to build up. Us, no. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, damn, you know, and when you, like, I'm talking to a group of young people. It was so disappointing because when I'm working with some of my young people and they start coming off on me like they rich, like they just, you know what I'm saying? I'm black, but I'm not really black, you know? And I'm sitting up here like, how is it that y'all 13, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old and y'all don't know who and where you are, who, what, and where you are? How is that possible? And you sit up in here and you act like you know everything. I don't understand. How is it possible that we can raise a group of young people and they not really understand the plight that they in? Everybody in my school eats a free lunch. What don't y'all get? In order for everybody to eat free lunch, 85% of the people got to be below the poverty level. What in the fuck don't y'all get? I'm older in the struggle. Nation on my back stuff is overrated. I may as well die in the struggle for some confused suboptimals. I'm not. I'm circling the wagons. I ain't got. If you want to go out there and see, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm just saying. There's a crew that we already got. The lunch is killing them too. The lunch is killing. Hey, listen. The lunch is killing them. The breakfast is killing them. The ignorance is killing them even faster. I'm just gonna say. They could survive those lunches, but that ignorant shit that's on them, that's gonna kill them. The denial is gonna kill them. All right, so let me get over that. I submit that if you are a man that hasn't discovered something that he is willing to die for, he isn't fit to live. Many of us gotta look. We gotta read. If you want to live by that, you have to reevaluate your relationships. Family, listen to me. This right here is a perfect model for you to find that perfect person. Find somebody that has something that they discovered that is worth dying for. I want y'all to think about, reevaluate your friendships, reevaluate. You know what I'm saying? We have to start taking time to start doing this type of work and really evaluate what's going on around us and who we have around us. I'm telling you, we got to start circling the wagons. You love them, we can love them, but as my grandmama said, feed them with a long-handled spoon. You know what I'm saying? I can love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Because some of this shit is ridiculous. It's certain shit we can't allow in our circle. Certain shit we can't allow if we seriously do some nation building. And there's a lot of dumb shit going on out here. Just saying. I'm just saying. You know. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. 4 sons, 1 daughter, 23 grands, 2 greats. They get what I have left. I feel you. Circle the wagons. Circle the wagons. Know who you are and know where you are. And know who for you. Alright. As you teach, you learn. That's a Jewish proverb. Family. So one of the things we have to start doing is, one, because a lot of us, we got a lot of this information, but we kind of shy when it comes to sharing some of it. We got to start teaching. Right? And start, because when you start really teaching, you start really seeing where the holes in your shit is. When you teach an idea, you really start looking at some of the holes in some of these ideas that we've been taught. You know what I'm saying? How many of you have ever got up and really explained an idea that you thought you knew real well, and as you started talking and you start hearing yourself talk about it, you be like, this might be some bullshit. See, this is why a lot of people, because one of the things that I learned young, I walked into a room one time and I heard my mom talking. And I said, Mom, who you talking to? She said, I'm talking to myself. I said, oh, that's crazy. She said, nah, it's only crazy when you answer yourself. So, yeah. So I start sounding shit out for myself. Start talking to myself. So I get to hear some of this shit that I'm reading. I get to, you know what I'm saying? I think out loud and I talk. And I'm like, this shit don't sound right. There's something missing on this shit. That's one of the reasons I was able to escape a lot of these religions, because it's like, this shit, okay. He did what? With who? Where? Nah, this don't sound right. Let me read this out loud. Okay. Don't sound right. Something missing. I'm missing something. I'm sorry. Miss me with that shit. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when we start looking at the ideas we have, we start placing them out and getting them on board. See, because I've been blessed, because a lot of the jobs I have, I walk into a room and there's a big giant whiteboard. If you walk in and look at my whiteboard now, there's thoughts up there. And I always got this. Sometimes I put thoughts up there, and I just think about them for a long time. And I get up and I write the thoughts. And while I'm writing, I'm talking. It's, sort of like if you go to you watch one of those movies and you got a professor in the room, and you know what I'm saying? I view what I do as I'm a scientist, I'm a philosopher, I'm an urban shaman. So I'm sitting up here like, boom, I'm trying to find this perfect combination. I'm trying to find this elixir of life. I'm trying to find I'm trying to find a formula that's going to transform this lead of our lives into gold. You know what I'm saying? So I got to sound this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, boom. And as I teach, and I have young people and old people, and we get to have conversations, I get to hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And like, and one of the things that I start getting away from is that things that I don't really understand or really can't explain to other people, except, now let me say this, except for spiritual encounters, personal spiritual encounters. Now, if somebody shared their spiritual encounter and I can't justify it, I got to put it on that trash sheet, because one of the things I learned is that your spiritual experiences lose power as you share them with others. So it's certain shit that when I did my omblations, or that when I was in the sweat lodge and I saw that's here. Yeah, that was for me, right? Now, I don't think it's a cold. It's not a cold. It's I'm having an allergy attack. In 51 years, I have never had an allergy attack.
This call is being recorded.
Who's on the line? You better know what we talking about. What's up?
Good, brother. Shot. What's going on, man?
I'm chilling. What's going on?
I'm listening in. Go ahead. Keep it going.
All right. So we almost done anyway. So as you teach, you learn. So by you taking what you know and sharing it with others, you are able to find the holes in it. And if those holes can be filled, you fill them. If they can't be filled, if it's broke beyond repair, you have sounded it out and you're able to throw it on the scrap heap and move to the next thing, to something else that you can find. You know what I'm saying? So when you teaching, you learn. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful proverb, and one of the things that I try to get everybody in Gye-Nyame to do is to get up and share the information. This is one of the reasons we had the questions, and one of the challenges is you got to take one of these questions and you have to teach. But the whole piece is, one, I need them to understand that I don't need you to teach the question from my perspective, from whoever taught you perspective. You need to teach it. You need to teach it from your perspective. It has to become yours, or it's not real. You have to teach it so that because once it becomes yours, you know what I'm saying? We call that intelligence of the mind. Once you get it to a point, you know what I'm saying? Once you get it to a point where it's like beyond here, it becomes intelligence of the heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's the highest form of intelligence, at least in our family. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't tell everybody what they supposed to have. I just share what's in our tribal shit. But family, listen. Let me say this to you. I have great love for you, but I'm sitting up here sniffling. I'm trying to get this ambrosia down, and I'm about to lay it down. Right? So, like I said, we will have our discussion, our toast and talk this weekend. We'll catch up. Got a lot of articles to do. The newsletter is out. We also going to Detroit next week. Hopefully some of y'all can come out and join us. You know what I'm saying? We can make it a nice family trip. Come on now. Don't be shy. Come on out. Like and share the video. This is Brother Hatim, and I'm letting you know you are in a place where your hustle builds muscle. This is the Congregation of the Mighty. Ha. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Anime. You got a cold? You got allergies too? Yeah? Huh? Okay. Anime got allergies too. Alright, this is a Heart of Simba production, and we just did another tribal quotes. Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Yeah, I got all that, you know. I'm going to stick to the ambrosia. That ambrosia. All right, family, I'm out. Peace.